February 25, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, No. 2.
This is the defendant lobby, all right. But there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Now, where could she be? And where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if just everybody. Something's been happening behind the scenes.
Something's been happening behind the scenes.
Edgeworth!
Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 7777777 ID number that is.
I think that was one short.
What?
Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out.
What did Edgeworth do? Did he also break in? You know, the only reason this child... Yes?
Wait, what do you mean by did he also break in?
Did he also break into Chief Gant's office?
I mean, yeah, he was... that's what he got fired for.
Edgeworth did?
No, you said... Oh, I thought you said Gumshoe.
No. Gumshoe doesn't have this figured out, and he was in the office.
Yeah, but it's his birthday.
I'm just a little birthday boy. You know, the only reason...
Party hat and everything.
The only reason this
cake.
shot at you...
Edgeworth made me this cake. I did no such thing. I bought it. Edgeworth buys things for people? That's so nice of him. Oh, edgy boy. Edgy boy!
I like it.
I
think he's doing a solo bit. I'm about it.
This is a Family Guy funny moment. Back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Jeremy cut that out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything.
True. Not yet.
In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes right, and Chief Prosecutor Skye will be found guilty.
But she didn't do it.
I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say.
This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her.
The truth?
Everything goes back to the SL9 incident.
Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. I don't have time to reminisce about the past.
It depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened.
I'll think about it. See you in court, right?
Me when I'm suing somebody. This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what the Chief Gant has on her, it's now.
February 25, 10 a.m. District Court, Courtroom No. 9.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe this is the only murder case so far that has been solved by the time. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Well, the defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Normally, this is where the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Chief Gant.
Yo, how did you do that?
I'm the judge now.
Yeah.
Morning, folks. How's everyone? Hey, Udgy. Been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning, and as enough as it is in my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that.
If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours?
Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it doesn't really matter. It should save everyone a lot of time and trouble.
Yeah. What's this all about, defendant?
I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished.
Well then, What's your request?
Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial.
Huh?
I confess to all charges against me. On February 21 of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office.
No, Lana.
Wow, yeah,
Well,
that's
that's
believable.
probably pretty good
Why
evidence.
don't you
We
hold
should
behind her
kill
back?
her. You can't. Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea.
In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services.
But Lana,
Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence.
is this also a swivel chair?
I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please.
Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. A request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant.
Objection. One moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Edgeworth!
The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature.
Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut?
I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant.
What?
Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes? Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be.
Oh,
With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes.
some kind of deal, Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy.
I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness.
Oh, to whom?
As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. I request the court hears her testimony.
Hold it. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue.
I don't care what you think, Miss Skye.
Damn.
The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it.
Very well. The court shall shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant? Worthy, you'll live to regret this. Mark my words.
Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand.
Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins.
Horses don't reign.
No,
Now then, witness.
Nay.
Please state your name and occupation.
My name is Emma, Emma Skye. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator.
2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct?
Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time.
Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant?
Yes, it most certainly is.
Well, okay then. He sure gave in fast.
Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago.
The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial.
2 years ago. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. the man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder?
That will soon become apparent, Your Honor.
You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
All right, we're still here even though he's got dismissed. Why not?
Wait a minute. Did Edgeworth did Edgeworth just look and then be like, yeah, "Oh, what does this have to do? I don't know. Phoenix's job." Fuck you.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. Presser. I guess.
Yeah, Presser. I hardly know her.
2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct?
Yes, she was second in command under then Deputy Chief of Police Gant. My sister, she was the best detective ever.
Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gant and Miss Sky used to be quite the pair.
I believe they share the same office.
That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day, too.
The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day.
Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work.
Press
He
it.
came running in and held you hostage. A man!
Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer.
Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest.
When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right?
Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Sky in Gant's office.
There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him.
Neil Marshall rescued you.
Yeah, let's do it.
What was the prosecutor doing there?
That day, there were 2 people present during Dark's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Almost forgot about Gant.
Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony.
I assumed that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark.
When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead.
And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in?
I don't clearly remember what happened then, but
Can you tell us about that? About what you saw?
Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark just then the lights went out.
The lights?
It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby.
So the electricity went out. Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but just then the lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image on the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then.
Detective.
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case.
Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim.
Yeah, let's just stop it.
So, you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago.
Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw?
Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
Picture? Yeah, I think she mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? Ask about that picture. This picture the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning.
Objection! Well, the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture.
Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor.
I would mind.
Oh, we have that, right? Is that this?
On the backside? Yeah.
Yep. Let's present
Do
it.
that. Objection! Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into a drawing. And yet, you would insist on denying its existence?
Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture.
That may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold. This is from the evidence list of the SL9 incident. Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over. Turn it... Ah! What's this?
Yes, what is that?
Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew.
Oh,
It's a pretty good picture, yeah. What an artist.
She should go into art instead of science. Indeed! Two men appear to be wrestling here.
Objection! What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list?
Me?
Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list.
Huh? These lists, they're different from each other.
What?
It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in this case that ever reached you.
What? What?
What?
Wow. Of course,
That's
that one too,
crazy.
huh?
Order! Order! But Miss Sky, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list?
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor.
Like Detective Stupid.
Wait a minute. This list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor! Are you all right, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Yes, that's quite conceivable. Mr. Edgeworth?
That's possible. Let's see.
He's never looked at the back of the piece of paper. Is something wrong? Do you even have to ask?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing! Ah!
No! That's that thing! That thing that was dancing in the evidence room.
Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives.
I guess he was out of scrap paper. I want just a 2-second video of you pulling up the Blue Badger and screaming. To, I don't know, set as my wallpaper. Every time I unlock my computer, I just want to see Blue Badger. Ah! Stop! No, stop it! Stop watching the footage. Stop it.
No. Oh. The Blue Badger was the murderer. We solved it.
Evidence was restored and added to the court record. Very well. Witness, will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago?
Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor.
What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture.
They're covering up for the Blue Badger.
The Blue Badger and Officer Meekins have been in on it together this whole time.
That was the accomplice.
This picture.
God.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I can see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind. thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. Well, I don't see any contradictions here.
That means that there's a large number of contradictions.
This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Nuts.
Defense may now begin its cross-examination. Can we look at the evidence?
Yeah.
Is there any like report of what happened during the SL9, or is it just like who was involved in SL9?
We have something from there. No.
Yeah, I think it's just like names, because that's where we found that Emma was involved in that case. It's the file.
There's a lot of files.
Oh,
We have this.
yeah. Sentence, death, next page,
Dudes.
victims, trial data. Yeah, no, this is all just names.
Okay, so if we look at this, oh Jesus.
Wait, what was the autopsy list?
Oh.
Wait, those
question.
drawn like that. Hold on. Stab wound, piercing heart, lung. Has been died from blood
Wait,
loss
hold on.
under 10 minutes. I'm trying to turn my head
that's-
sideways.
Yeah, that's
Because
that's
that
what
looks like a window, right?
I guess so.
I mean, obviously, the archways make it look like the top of the windows in the office. I'm trying to think of what else that can be.
I think more notably, it looks like the guy getting stabbed is getting stabbed in the back.
Yes, that's also important. I'm just trying to the badger, dude. I'm like trying. My head is. I'm literally laying my head on my desk sideways and trying to unfocus my eyeball. I'm really investigating, dude. I'm
No,
doing
I'm
this the
about it, I'm about it.
scientific way.
You don't need to unfocus
But yeah,
your
I got
eyes for
stabbed in
like
the
7
back,
more games.
supposedly.
Okay, yeah. I think that's a pretty clear on. Is there?
That or she's just really bad at art, you know. Should we present evidence on this?
Yeah.
Because it says he was stabbed in. Well, I guess you
'Cause-
can be
Because
stabbed in
that's
the
not
back.
right. Yeah. Well,
It
oh,
says stabbed
exactly.
in the back.
Oh
He's being stabbed in the back.
no, it says heart and lungs.
You can stab somebody's heart from the back.
Well, it was right anyway. So we're cooking. We're cooking.
Hate
Don't
to
worry
be the
about it.
bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction.
What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday.
You're a liar. Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report?
Okay. Well,
Badger.
I was literally wrong. So.
Okay.
I mean,
No, wait. Hold on. No, you are cooking. Because even if he got stabbed in the back from this side, the heart's on the opposite side of the body.
Yeah, but it's like with the left arm, so you can still like hook around, right? You're not like doing a.
He's coming down. How many? Okay. Okay, chat. This is an exercise with you guys also. Okay, hold an imaginary knife in your left hand, right? Now stab somebody with it.
But he's like
Did
kind of
any
turned
of you
sideways.
make a sweeping? Did any of you make a big sweeping arc to
I
then
did.
stab underneath? Like, if you're gonna hit the lung, right? You have to be coming from like behind the guy. Like, you have to reach
Yeah.
past the spine and then like hook back in because your heart's not like on the outside. It's like inside. Whatever. It's just pointed at his chest. Or pointed
Okay,
at the
but like
guy.
I don't know. I can see. I think what I'm more
But
concerned
also,
about.
nobody stabs in a swing. I mean, more like down.
I'm looking at this. Wasn't the knife they used supposed to be sharp? And this is not sharp. Because the tip broke off
in yeah
in him,
yeah.
but that is
Fine, we'll do that. We'll do
okay.
that.
Okay, let's try that.
I was cooking though. Okay, Chad, shut up. The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at this knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken. Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright.
Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
I recall. The tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
It was a conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer.
I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma.
Objection. And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem?
Why did you have to object to say that?
Fuck you.
It's obvious. Really, the victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. Ah! What's the meaning of this?
Objection! Perhaps that knife was broken beforehand.
That's stupid. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible.
Don't call me stupid. I'm not stupid.
The tip of the knife was found inside of the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, he couldn't possibly wind up there. That's right. But what does this
Objection.
mean?
The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation here is the witness's memory is mistaken.
That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure if she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time. But she was sure she remembered correctly.
But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency.
Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence?
You're treading on thin ice, right?
All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility.
No. Ugh!
Oh,
what a
wow.
piece of
That
shit.
would really tear apart Edgeworth's credibility as a useful. Order! 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 Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted? Your Honor, please allow me to once again look over the events of the day of the murder. How many knife tips? The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors award at the ceremony,
What? Typo? Typo detected? Bad game. We have to stop playing.
Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It's my belief that somewhere in this story, there is a lie.
Not lying. That man really was holding up a broken knife.
If that's true, and there's no other way around it, this could not have been an actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife.
What are the chances of there being two broken knives? Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Could there have been one?
Yes.
Witnesses this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw. It can't just be explained away by simple observational error.
Mr. Wright,
In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume then that you have some information about this other broken knife? If so, please feel free to enlighten us. The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon.
Edgeworth?
The screwdriver
I don't think it's a screwdriver.
brought back to Gant's office by Gant's request.
I think that Gant only like.
No, wait,
gave
no,
that to
no,
Edgeworth.
that's from A16. Sorry, A16.
I was thinking.
The sword from the trophy.
Yeah, because that was removed after 2 years
because
ago.
it's been removed from the trophy.
Yeah.
In there. The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Right here inside of this picture.
No, this is a picture of the award ceremony. Ah!
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
There was a bee. It's the it's the broken murder
A
weapon.
bee? Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding.
that's a broken knife.
As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife.
The halberd.
That being the case, the knife the witness saw was all in likelihood from this award.
Pretty good.
Wow,
yeah,
it seems like a bit of a stretch. How to
believe
get the
it, I
knife
believe
out?
it. I don't know.
Order! 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 Neil Marshall was awarded the King of Prosecutors trophy that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and a knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation.
Objection! But that can't be.
Oh? And why not, Mr. Edgeworth?
Because if the King of Prosecutors' award knife was the murder weapon, then the murder weapon and the victim would be reversed. The murderer and the victim would be reversed.
What do you mean?
I mean, that man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Oh. Oh! Oh, gosh. But the prosecutor was the one who actually died. That's true. What's going on here?
It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions.
Hold it! Wait, I remember now. I remember everything.
Well, witness?
Mr. Edgeworth.
What is it?
Could you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list. The one with that picture scribbled on the back. It's a shield.
I don't think that is the shield.
I knew it. This picture? I'm the one who drew it.
What?
You drew that.
That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture.
Get out of my head.
Get out!
All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you've been recalled, Miss Sky?
Yes, Your Honor.
First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger. This should be interesting.
Emma's recollection. When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed towards both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. It's just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
That's menacing as fuck.
Who's that looking in your window? It's the blue badger. Boop, 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 boop. And if I got woken up in the middle of the night by the blue badger theme and also the blue badger, I'd kill somebody too. This is certainly most unusual.
Objection! Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year. Typos in my own speech, god damn it. Game designers.
That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago. Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Hold it, stop, please don't pursue this any further.
Lana, what's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this, I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that?
Chief Prosecutor Sky. You've already come this far. It's too late to turn back.
Silence! The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant. Seems we're finally getting to the core of this matter.
Phoenix was still dismissed as attorney, but he's still here though. He's chilling. Oh god.
When I saw that man raise his knife,
I
I can rush towards both of them.
I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Another flash lightning. That's when I saw the blue badger. Should we press that?
I don't know what to start pressing, but
Yeah,
we
this
gotta
is
start pressing.
from the beginning, you think, or from the blue
Yeah.
badger?
Hold on, maybe not all the way. What's the first sentence?
Let's see.
Okay, let's go from I panicked.
Yeah.
Wait, no, let's go from when I saw that man raise his knife.
Okay. Yeah. Let's start,
Which man?
Yep.
When you say
Oh.
that man, I assume you refer to Joe Dark?
Yeah, at least I think it was him.
You think?
all I could really see were shadows.
A power outage that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor's office reports.
So, then you?
Panicked. Sure.
Why would you do something so dangerous?
Oh, what else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall.
She seems convinced that Dark was the one holding the knife.
As we've just theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife.
Well, I didn't know that at the time. That dark guy knocked me down. All I could think of was, I gotta help that other person.
Okay.
Sure.
They got tackled by a 6-year-old?
She
What
was,
do you mean,
what,
you
15?
think?
Yeah, 15.
She's 16 now, right?
I thought she was 17. Let's
Maya's
verify.
17.
Okay, yeah,
Maya's
14.
17.
It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it's all kind of a blur.
Miss Sky was almost killed before she was witness to a murder about to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, a little disorientation is only natural.
We're trusting her on the broken knife tip.
Yeah.
I saw the man about to stab the other person who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife.
What you did was very brave, young girl. So then, what happened next?
Alright, so nothing there. A blue badger.
The Blue Badger. Are you sure about this?
Of course, see? I even drew a picture of him here.
But it was the chief of detectives who thought up his hideous beast. And that was just this year. The Blue Badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable.
You know what sounds strange? I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him before somewhere. Now I finally remember.
Oh, brother. Just when you thought that thing had caused enough commotion. Well, tell us. Where in the room did you see him dancing?
Him dancing makes it worse.
Honestly, yeah. Like, horror movie, you walk into a room and, like, they're panning. You know, you come in the door, and then, like, as the camera goes over, you just see, like, in the corner,
Yeah.
just in the dark.
Some, like,
all
Spectre of
locked,
Death.
it's just yes.
Oh, jeez.
His shadow. So you mean you didn't actually see his face, with its winning smile and all?
That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns.
Objection! This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken.
That may well be. But it's important what caused her to think she saw what she did.
Oh? And I suppose you have an explanation? If so, then by all means, please tell us what the shadow really was.
What was it that Emma saw when the lightning flashed? Who is this Blue Badger, really?
Okay, this is like the only
Yeah,
thing I have to go
know.
off of. So, you know?
Oh yeah, it's Mike Meekins. The Blue Badger hadn't even been dreamt up when Emma drew this picture. Yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on this fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the Blue Badger. Something that's now sitting in this very room.
Mr. Wright,
In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious Blue Badger lookalike.
It's the blue
Right,
badger.
it's the vase.
Ah.
Can you rotate it up? Up. Yeah. And then okay. Yeah, put the horn looking things up.
Okay, no. Okay, I'm gonna stop you there. This is an infamously annoying part to get done, so I remember this very well. If you notice me
I'll
attempting
end
to
up-
rotate it slightly, didn't go very well.
Well, the mysterious Blue Badger was in fact this. But that's what exactly is that? I believe it's some sort of jar.
Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the Blue Badger.
Indeed, it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar.
It does kind of look like a uterus, though, chat. You're kind of right.
This is symbology for
The blue badger.
crushing the patriarchy. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Our viewpoint? I've got to show them The correct angle to look at this from. I'm glad that it shows you the blue badger in case
God.
you've forgotten. Why would you change it? You could just rotate down. Why are you spinning it?
You have to spin it. Trust me.
Too far. You doofus.
This is like infamously like you have to be exact on this shit.
Left. It's not centered. You have grid lines.
I can't. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Too far. Too far. Nope. Go back.
What do you mean? I see the top polygon of this lined up. Oh, fuck.
Okay, it still needs to go
Try
higher.
it?
Nope. That's
Ah,
not
damn
done.
it!
This isn't right. I've got to make it look more like the badger.
Objection, this is stupid. Allow me to remind the defense its case hinges on the witness's drawing.
Let me save, because I didn't save last time, but now I'm...
Yeah. Imagine losing the case because idiot can't fucking rotate a jar.
If Mr. Wright can't match the shape the witness drew, we cannot accept his claim.
I've got to find just the right angle. Maybe I should rotate it vertically a bit more. Or horizontally?
Come on, Mr. Wright, you can do it.
Got to show them the correct angle to look at this from.
Okay, rotating.
Reset. Okay. Yep. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, God, oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It needs to rotate a little bit more. Got to rotate a little bit more.
This is not
central
fucking-
spike. The central spike is not in the right area.
I know!
And you rotate it left. No. What have you done? Okay, so use the polygon on the top. Try to get that up to the next grid line, at minimum,
Oh, Jesus.
and put it right on that grid line, and then fucking center it, please.
Is that looking good?
Hold on. I'm literally holding the height comparison. I think that is cracked.
Ah! You
Okay,
see why this
very
is very
good.
memorable, right?
No, obviously
Okay,
not. She
okay,
didn't
okay.
remember it the first time.
All right, we're trying it this way.
Send
Okay.
it. Okay, wait. You need to see the curl. So the side ones, you still need to see those curl downwards, right? You need that like. So the top one has to look like a triangle, and the sides have to look like they're curled down. You know, the side gesture parts of the hat. No, so that's way too low, right? You really need to see the side curvature. And look at the jaw shape, right? I think it needs to go down more. Like go halfway up the next grid line with the top polygon. You're rotating the wrong direction.
Okay, up.
Yeah. And like halfway through that. Because look at the jawline shape now.
No. This is okay. This triangle is like way too big, though. This is way too high.
Yeah, because you should be able to see the gap. Just perfectly close the gap.
Oh,
Wait, make it smooth.
there's no way to smooth it out. I think we have unlimited tries though, so I can't.
Glad you saved though. No.
Ah! Yes!
Oh, yes! Let's go! Went full H-Buck. Well, is this a miracle or what?
Oh, you better believe it.
No one could possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the Brew Badger.
No. It can't be.
Oh, wow.
It looks exactly like it.
Those guys are really talented at rotating things. Order! Order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious Blue Badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this.
Objection! Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point?
What do you mean?
So the badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything.
I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything.
Indeed? Very well then. Please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar?
The murder web. The
I don't
murderer?
fucking know.
The murderer, right?
How does the jar change that though?
It's not changing the location or the murder weapon. We already changed the murder weapon to the statue, so I'm assuming somewhere in the struggle so Neil comes in with a knife, right? Or the trophy knife.
Yeah.
And then she kind of tackles him for a little bit. Then Joe Dark finds the thing, right, and smashes it over his head. And then now Joe Dark is the killer. I mean, we don't really believe that the murderer is there. Well, it's not Neil, because the court was confused, thinking about like how did Neil do that? So it has to be the murderer.
Chat might be right though. Honestly, like location could make sense because it could be like, where was the jar in the room? Duh. Oh, well, whatever.
Well, allow me to take these in turn.
Oh.
At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar.
Okay. In a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. White.
Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where?
And so it's doing a location for us. All right.
The location of this jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant.
Objection! But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself.
Yes, and it's at these two facts that were reversed of what actually transpired. Reveal, not reversed. The struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room, in Chief Gant's.
Objection! Are you implying the murderer removed the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office?
They're the same freaking room, dude. Yes.
Why would he do that? There's no reason.
Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. Oh, do you know what this reason was, Mr. Wright? I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial.
We really did choose the wrong answer, and they were just like, nah, chat's right.
Nah, it's gonna get back to the other one. It's too late to quit now, though. That over doubling down for a really long time to get a game over. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now, tell me, what could have sent the jar flying? Well, that would have had to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit? A suit of armor?
Ah!
Ah! The suit of armor! Holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword. It's a spear, actually. Yes! And since the man who was knocked in the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy.
No, Mr. White, you can't be thinking.
Yes. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Another possibility. Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with this. Mr. Wright, what's the matter?
If events took place as the defense theorizes, the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No!
Ooh.
I never imagined her testimony would lead to this.
It was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented.
That's pretty crazy.
My gosh. Well, she's a murderer. Maybe
Objection.
she's Joe Dark.
What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances...
Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How could you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her?
Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it?
I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall?
Evidence?
I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with the evidence.
We don't have evidence. Then we'll have to rely on testimony.
I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
We certainly can't get dead people to testify.
Only Maya was here.
This all has been a wild goose chase from the beginning.
Touche, Miss Sky. Of course. That only leaves us with one possibility.
You mean, there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life, in one manner or another.
That's impossible.
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. Message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? I've got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind is in the evidence.
Yeah. Do that.
We've got to think back to the court record, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
This message from the deceased is already in our possession.
Mr. Wright, please stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer.
Yes. Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There's only one thing we seek. The truth. No matter how painful it may be.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased. Is it the jar again?
I guess so.
The jar?
Yeah, there was blood on it, right?
Yeah, and
Take a
like
look at it.
in a line on the piece that was missing. Can we look at the, apparently we can inspect the blood. Darkwright's chains must be traces from the incident 2 years ago. Only a fragment found in Chief Gant's office still has any lines remaining on it. It looks like it's starting at M. If you look at it, head tilted to the right.
Oh, hold on. Wait. So like E, M, and then A?
Yeah. Yeah.
I could be seeing constellations here, though.
I mean,
Let's try it.
what's our follow-up thing? That's the only evidence we have from it.
Yeah.
The whole case, right? So. This is the message left by the deceased. This is that blue badger from before, right?
Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name?
If that thing could, I'm sure it would.
He's seen it. Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? You look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar.
It looks like someone wiped the blood away.
Yes, but notice. For some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away. Yes, there is a line here, drawn in blood.
What you're saying is these dots were once lines.
Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message.
Well, that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions.
Precisely so. All we needed to do was connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent.
No.
Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us? Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. Got to connect these dots to make letters. Here's only one thing the victim would have written, given the circumstances. His murderer's name.
I love the DS. What?
All right, so
Present.
yeah, okay.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is forging evidence, by the way, if anybody's wondering.
Okay, so I can't do anything with that one.
Yeah, continue the M. Good thing that there's only one M in her name. Do you think this is why? No, you stupid idiot. That's not how you write an A. It would care, okay. I think we're good.
The power of the DS, baby.
Defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lena.
Yeah, M ain't my
Lena.
fucking client.
After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma.
So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind.
Of all people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye. E-worthy. Can't say I didn't warn you.
Chief Gantz.
Do you understand the implications of what you've done?
What? What are you talking about?
2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not?
Ah!
Yeah, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable. I'm afraid that's not important. Don't you know, we aren't defenders of justice. What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or ever evidence forgery, ultimately the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone might say, this fact cannot be denied. Woo! We're all mad.
It's popping
What's
off.
going on at the prosecutor's office?
It might have had sent an innocent man to his death. What the hell, man?
How can he just stand there like it wasn't his fault? Order! 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 Deflating balloon. Gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. Except for us, right freaking now, boys. Let's go!
Let's fucking go!